Hey there, it is Friday. Now the weird thing is, let me get this straightened out here. Okay, so the weird thing is, once again, we're not on the house floor on a Friday. This is becoming a habit. Now, the thing that I'm afraid of, by the way, once again, hi, Bill Post here. It's My Life as Your State Representative, week 16. Yes, the 16th week. Because this is Memorial Day weekend that we're going into, so what happened today was we had to have a quorum, so there had to be 40 members present. We gavelled in. We did the opening ceremony of Pledge of Allegiance and an opening moment of prayer by Representative John Davis, and then first readings, second readings, bang, 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 gavel, 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 carry over everything to Tuesday. So we don't have a floor session today. We don't have one Monday. And that's all well and good, and I understand some people think that, it's good that we take a few days off, and I don't. I was elected to come here and to not necessarily to pass bills. I'm not thrilled about passing more bills because I think we have enough law as it is. But I was elected to come here and do a job to represent you, and I don't think going home every Friday and not doing anything here. See, the thing is, if you don't have a committee on Friday, or you don't have some specific duty that you have to do on Friday, there's really nothing for you to do here. I mean, I literally, there's not. I'll tell you what there is to do. You know what there is to do for me to do? Let's just be completely honest, because that's how I am. I'm always completely honest. I've said from day one, before I got elected, when I was still the radio guy, I said I won't always be right, but I'll always be honest. I have birthday cards. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, so this is the front of the birthday card. And what that is that's a picture that's right back there on my wall. That is the Oregon House in 1895. And what we did was we made birthday cards out of them. On the back it says, "Happy birthday from me." And then I'm signing each one right down here at the bottom. So my job today is to sign about 1,000 birthday cards. These go out to folks 65 and older in my district. It's a tradition that former Representative Kim Thatcher, now Senator Kim Thatcher, started, and I wanted to continue. Anyway, the point is, I'm consigned to signing birthday cards today, rather than doing any real work. And I hate that. I hate that. I'm by nature kind of a lazy person, but when I work, I like to work. I don't like to sit around. So here we are, another Friday. This is 7th, 8th, I don't know how many in a row, Fridays that we're not doing anything. And it drives me crazy. But I'm in the minority party, and we don't have a lot to say about things. And I'm not trying to turn this into a complaining situation, because that's not it. I want to work. And Monday, I know, is Memorial Day, and so we should take that day off. It is a day, especially if of all days, all year, that's one we should take off, because we remember those who gave their lives for this country, who paid the ultimate sacrifice for this nation, for us to be able to have the liberties and the freedoms that we have. And so, of course, I remember that, but it just irritates me to have this many days off. Whatever. I'll try to smile and make the best of it. That's my real smile. Okay, so what happened this week? Week 16. There were... It's amazing, there actually were not that many bills passed, and even though, if I were to show you, I don't know if I have it right here, no I don't, the amount of bills that were scheduled to be passed each day this week, we would only get through, imagine there's about 8 pages double-sided of bills. There were about 1.5 pages done each day, so maybe 8 to 10 bills passed each day. And that's because over here in the House, we obviously, because there's 60 of us, we generate more bills, and those are all now over in the Senate, and they're having to go through all our junk. And meanwhile, we're going through the Senate's junk, and the Senate, because there's 30 of them, there's less of them, so we have to slow the process down. That's what I'm told. Let me think. I think the biggest news that came out of this week was that after last week, when the revenue forecast came out, and we found out that we're actually doing better than was suspected, that automatically kicks the kicker into place. Now, there's a lot of arguments from a lot of people about the kicker. I want to give you just a quick history. Don't quote me on these dates. I'm doing this from memory, and my memory's not the best, but I believe it was around 1995 that Oregonians put the kicker into place, which is basically this. simple terms. If too much tax money is collected by the state of Oregon, too much of your money, my money, our taxes is collected, then the state has to give it back. All right, a certain amount, a percentage. I believe it's 2%. So, back in '95, I believe it was, when this was made into law by the voters, and then the legislature, took the law and worked it into whatever it needs to do. It was originally a tax credit on your taxes the next year. Because a lot of people talk about, I want my check. Well, the last check that was issued was in 2007. And the problem with it, and this is where, as a fiscal conservative, I agree with this. So originally the law was that it was a tax credit. Then it became checks later on. And the last one we got was in 2007. In 2011, I believe it was, the legislature said, it costs several $1 million to issue these checks. Let's go back to the original system, which was a tax credit. And so with currently the system the way it is, when the kicker kicks, and it would be, the average is about $248 per person in Oregon, it would be on your taxes next year. Okay. A lot of people have contacted me this week and said, but I want that check. We said we wanted checks. Well, no, actually, back in 1995, we did not pass a law saying we get a tax or a kicker check. That was changed later, and then it was changed back. So I have to agree with that, because why would we spend $2, $3, or $4 million, whatever it was, to cut checks to everybody? That's stupid. Now, I understand. I like getting a check. Don't get me wrong. I love getting a check in the mail. But I don't care whether it's $1 or $10 million. I like getting a check in the mail. But I understand it from a fiscal standpoint. That doesn't make sense when we can just make it a part of your taxes. But the bigger argument here is, back in March, we, the Republicans, argued on the House floor for a higher K-12 education budget. Now, that had to have been a first. Republicans asking for more money. It just doesn't happen. But we had a pretty good idea that there was going to be a kicker. And we knew if we didn't fund the education to a certain level, that the Democrats would come in and say, we want the kicker for the schools. March 31st, our leader, House Republican leader Mike McLean, got up on the House floor and said, folks, they want your kicker. Well, yesterday was May 21st, and a bill was introduced. It is HB 55. Hang on. It is House Bill 3555, and it will take your kicker. It would take half of it, put it into K-12 education, and half of it into a rainy day fund. You can argue all day with me whether you think that's right, wrong, or not wrong. We, the voters, said the kicker is our way of making sure that state government balances their checkbook properly. It keeps them within these square boxes. And if they can't, then they have to give us our money back. I want my kicker. So, I would urge, these videos generally are not meant to be political statements. They're not, it's not my radio show, it's not, but this I'm pretty passionate about. The kicker is mine, and the kicker is yours. And you need to ask for your kicker. So you need to contact your state representative, not me, because you know where I stand, and your state senators, and say, you know what, don't mess with my kicker. I want my kicker. We had the money. There is over $2 billion of extra income that's coming in this biennium, according to this revenue forecast. $2 billion, over $2 billion. And that's not enough money to fund K-12 and all the other programs. And we heard yesterday, one of the representatives said that we can't have a fully funded school budget and a rainy day fund at the same time. And I shook my head when I heard that. Yes, we can. We have plenty of money. More than enough. We don't have a revenue problem in Oregon. We have a spending problem. So, all right. I don't want to get all political on you, but I wanted you to understand how important this is. Outside of that, there are some more crazy gun bills coming your way. I'm doing everything I can to stop them. I just can't. There's not enough numbers here. We try every maneuver we can. We just can't. This is probably going to be the most political video that I'm doing of all these 16 weeks of videos, but I'm telling you that elections have consequences. I'm not even asking for a Republican majority. I'm asking for a 30-30 split, a 31-29, something, so that people can't just run amok in this building, which is what goes on here. Am I tired? Yeah, I'm tired. And so maybe I do need a 4-day weekend. But so do you. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I want you to have a wonderful weekend. Remember those men who died in the fields of battle to save our freedoms, to protect our freedoms. I thank them. I salute them. It is Memorial Day weekend. So you have a great weekend, and we'll talk again next week, week 17, next week.